Typhoon Ofel, also known as Usagi, continuing to traverse northern Luzon today. All the while, we continue to monitor Manyi, which will soon be called Pepito, just towards the southwest of Guam. That storm system heading out likely towards southern Luzon with a landfall over the upcoming weekend. Meteorologist Robert Spetta, let's track both of these storm systems, of course, concentrating on the storm having the current impacts in the northern Philippines. We also still have Taraji, also known as Nika, bringing some kind of tropical storm type conditions to Hong Kong. And then, of course, Manyi, which has not been named yet, but it will likely be here over the next 24 hours. Expected to come on shore probably in southeastern Luzon as we go ahead through Saturday into Sunday. But a big impactor here with that one. Now, the good news, if we kind of take a look, actually, let's go back to the satellite picture here, is that the extent of the winds from our storm we currently have right now, Typhoon Ofel, not extending very away far from the center. In fact, take a look at the Joint Typhoon Warning Center. I always love their graphics because you can kind of get an idea of the expanse of the wind field. Tropical storm strength conditions basically in this larger semicircle. Yeah, you see, even as far south as Baguio, along the west coast of Region 1, a good portion of Region 2, not even seeing tropical storm strength conditions. And if you're talking about the typhoon type stuff, it doesn't extend very far away from that low-level center. And a very similar setup here with the Pagasa's forecast, which they've been doing a fantastic job on this storm system too. As it came on shore here, it really is specifically northeastern Luzon, a very rural area outside of places like Santa Ana, where they did have some of these impacts as this came on shore. That's why Signal Force 4 in place there. 5, I don't think 5 was warranted. The storm actually took a little bit of a fall apart right prior to landfall. The inner structure almost collapsed in on itself. And then, of course, it slammed into the mountains, which this is a great graphic to illustrate that, is that it just kind of bounced off the mountains here. Watch as it gets close to the coast of Luzon. And basically, this is a car crash. Boop. See how it just kind of stalled out there? Now, it did run right over Santa Ana as expected. Actually, our videographer, James Reynolds, make sure you give him a follow. Earth Uncut TV. There's a picture from Santa Ana inside of the eye of this, well, once super typhoon. Incredible shot there. And he has a whole live stream, some of the images, plus these images coming out of northern areas of Luzon, just showing this powerful storm system. This is from some of our viewers who send this to us via our inbox at Westpac Weather. All right, so yeah, the storm system is weakening now. I see Dvorak analysis of it kind of backing off just a little bit here. Plus, it's running into shear, which is indicated here in the red. So here's our storm rate in here. But you see these areas in red. This is basically the jet stream coming down. You have the northeast monsoon setting up, kind of wrapping around like that. In short, whole bunch of shear as this turns towards the north and runs over towards Taiwan, which, it's still going to have some rainfall here across southern Taiwan for sure. But you see the track actually pulls it out towards Okinawa, but by the time it gets there, this is going to be not a tropical system. In fact, you see in the last few frames, let's go through that again. Watch as the next cold surge comes in and just basically runs it right over. Bloop, there it goes. It's gone, and it fades just away. So the big issue with this still going to be the rainfall for northeastern Luzon heading into Taiwan, and then our attention changes. This is probably going to be the last update where my primary focus is on Usagi, because then our attention changes to Manyi right here, which let's take a look at the last 24 hours. Watch how this goes from pretty much nothing, spins up, wraps up, passes over Yap just towards the north of Palau, and this is going to continue to run just like that along the southern periphery of the Westpac High here towards north. And you can see the broader view of what I'm talking about with this kind of scooting along and heading off there towards the west. So a landfall likely as we go ahead into Saturday night over towards Sunday. It really depends. The further south it goes, if it goes into Samar, which is a real possibility, it would probably be a landfall on Saturday. For Luzon, Sunday, just because a little bit more time out over that open water. And then we have to reflect on the fact that, another round of rapid intensification, if this stays south of that shear line and that next cold surge What would that look like if it did rapidly intensify right in this area here on Saturday? See, heading through Saturday into Sunday, passing basically right over Catanduanes, Bicol region, flood threat once again. That includes you in Legazpi. And you see the ECMWF brings it on shore just south of Casiguran. But, I mean, 5-6 days out, this could waver a whole bunch. And even if it wavers 20-30 kilometers either direction, that makes a major difference. You know, if it goes a little bit further south, we're talking about storm surge in and across Manila Bay versus a storm surge in places like Pangasinan over towards Subic Bay. There is definitely a variety of potential impacts here, and this is what I'm talking about. I mean, just take a look at this. You know, we got this passing right over Catanduanes, the Bicol region, but if this traversed just even a little further south, then you would be in the right front quadrant. We would be talking about more of a surge here in some of the bays along the east coast. There's a lot of a variety of impacts here, which is why I keep on saying know your information from those official sources. I love giving these updates. I hope that you guys find them useful and you are here being weather aware, which is the biggest and most proper step when tracking the tropics. I can't stress that enough. So you're doing an amazing job. Just don't take my sole word for it. Make sure you get from a variety of sources. I know that's not good for business, me screaming that, but yeah, I'll never sit here and say, hey, listen to me only. No. Get your information, especially from those guys who are there with a whole team of people. Gus has actually been doing a fantastic job with this storm. So just make sure you track them and follow them and see what they're doing with this forecast. Not only at this time as our typhoon pulls away, but as the next one sets up, which could potentially be a fairly strong storm system here with Manye. I mean, just look at the loop as we push through 140 kilometers per hour. Then just prior to landfall, 175. You know, we're not up to 220 threshold according to JMA, but they historically underplay these storms. They historically, when I mean by underplay, I mean like their intensity is historically low. They're conservative. That's the word I'm looking for. So just something to keep in mind. For example, this one, they expected a severe tropical storm at first when it was out there towards the east, and ended up becoming a Cat 5 super typhoon. Just some food for thought. All right. Anyways, good news. This is starting to weaken. And like I said, as it moves towards the north, that shear is going to start to come in. You can even see that here in the satellite picture. You have that what is left of our tropical storm Nika right in here. Shear's coming in. That's going to continue to disrupt it. But that shear is basically north of this line. So we're not in any sheared environment for Manye. So here we go. Here we go. As always, thanks for watching. If you want to check out more on this channel, please visit our Patreon. Link is down below. And hit that like and subscribe button. But number one thing, as always, and the whole reason why we're here, friends, stay safe out there. Bye. Do you hate doing your taxes? Do you struggle figuring out what the law is and money management overseas?
I wish there was an easier way.
Well, FrontrunnerFinancial.com is your choice if this falls into your category. They're an international-based group of American accountants. They're based in Manila, and they're qualified to give you the best information where you are for those international finances. I wish I had these guys when I lived in Tokyo. Each year, it was a struggle. Where I needed to put money, what I needed to do. FrontrunnerFinancial.com. Be sure to check them out and let them know we sent them your way.